The devastating flood waters have gradually receded in parts of the country, but a few kills which were earlier blamed on the flood are yet to abate, especially in the nation's capital, Abuja, as well as other major cities and towns nationwide. The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, which is responsible for regulating operational and commercial activities midstream and downstream, was quick to attribute the lingering fuel scarcity to supply chain disruptions occasioned by the destruction of a critical link road by devastating floods. Of course, we know some roads are bad as we speak because of the flood we had earlier last month. However, it appears there is more to it than meets the eye, as there is now an unofficial hike of petrol pump price from the official band of between 165 to 175 naira per litre to as much now as 180 to 200 naira per litre in major cities and towns across the country, including Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. Now, there are strong insinuations that marketers are conversing for an increase in the official pump price of petrol, citing increased cost in logistics and the exchange rates. Now, what are the real issues behind the unofficial hike of petrol price, which is already taking a toll on commuters and motorists and by extension on the economy? We hope to unpack these questions on this program tonight, Nigeria Today on NTA News 24. Thanks a lot for joining us. I am Musbad and Wahab. We're coming to you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital city. You get to meet my guest in a moment. Thanks a lot for staying tuned in with me in the studio to discuss the hike in petrol pump prices. Umar Babakano is the National Secretary, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN. Glad to have you again, but not on this issue anyway.
Thank you.
All right, we also have in our studio our regular guest, Jide Ojo, a public affairs analyst, is here with us. Jide Ojo, by the way.
Good evening, Nigerians. Pleasure to be here.
Well, it's our pleasure, but I'm not sure motorists are smiling like we do now in the studio. On this same issue, on this same program, these two gentlemen joined us a few weeks back to discuss this. Is it rather not so unfortunate that we're back where we were some weeks back to discuss the same issue, Jide Ojo?
It's very, very trending. It's very, very unfortunate. I don't know what other adjective I should use to qualify it. For us, the residents of Federal Capital Territory, this year has not been very, very pleasant for us in terms of sourcing the PMS, that's the petrol. I recall that way back in January, we've been facing this issue off and on. And at some point, they said, oh, you know, it was an adulterated fuel that was mistakenly imported into the country.
That
was initially. Then after that, they said, oh, you know, the landing cost is so expensive now because of the war between Ukraine and Russia. So ships have to take a detour from their normal route, and this has increased the haulage price and all of that. Then the flood came. Now we are talking of infrastructural challenges. We know all of this. The question to the authority is, why is Nigeria not self-sufficient in the refining of petroleum products? Not just PMS, not just petrol. Why are we still importing diesel, jet A1, kerosene, lubricants, and PMS? Why should we have 4 refineries and none of them is producing for over 3 decades? And over 25 billion, purportedly, over 25 billion, that's conservative estimate, have been spent on turnaround maintenance of these refineries without anything to show for it. And now we have gone to borrow $1.5 billion to fix the Port Harcourt refinery. We were told when that contract was signed sometime last year, it will take 18 months being December of 2022. Are we likely going to see the Port Harcourt Petroleum Refinery coming on stream in December, which is just like 3 weeks away? Are we likely going to see the Dangote refinery that we have been waiting on, even though that's a private initiative, but NNPC have bought into it, at least 20% equity on that 650 barrel refining capacity petroleum. Now, Dangote have had to shift on several occasions the commissioning or the commencement of operation on its refinery. Now we are told first quarter of 2023, which is why this issue of PMS was the ripple effect of which is the subsidy. Recall that when the PIA, Petroleum Industrial, was signed by the president around October last year, they have to suspend the implementation of part of it on the basis that they cannot at that point in time remove fuel subsidy. So now this year we are told we have spent over 3 trillion on subsidy. But what? It will have been heartwarming if after spending that huge, humongous sums of money,
and then we get value.
We have this product available, readily available for us. I don't see the value of the subsidy now, that I have to be sourcing fuel that I don't know the source, for as much as 400 naira, 350, minimum 300 naira per liter. For the better part of this year, if I drive my car, if you are in my car, you will see the way it's vibrating. Is it the fuel pump? I don't know. Whatever has happened to it because of sourcing fuel from unwholesome, sources. So you ask yourself, do we have a country, do we have a government in place? Our president is the Minister of Petroleum Resources. De facto Minister of Petroleum Resources. Where is he now? On medical tourism. What has the Minister of State said concretely to address this? We are fishing for excuses every day long. So it baffles me. It's like there's just no one in charge. And recall that we were here some months ago, and it was decided that we just unobtrusively noticed that all the marketing stations, fuel marketing outlets, has increased their pump price from the 165 to 175. And we said, well, we can live with that if that will ensure
the availability
of this product. Now, let us know if we have to be buying it at 200 naira and it will be readily available. But you see, this is breach of social contract. There is no accountability. If we are spending these huge sums of money and we cannot still get the fuel, which has also in a sense affected even the haulage industry. The diesel that have been deregulated, you can't still have the diesel readily available. Recall, the price of a liter of diesel now goes for 700, 800 naira per liter.
800 naira.
Now, airlines have also told us, look, don't be too sure that you will fly when you buy a ticket, because there is possibility of flight cancellation arising from non-availability of Jet A1.
It's getting that worse. Trust me, Jide Ojo, you're going to talk more to these issues. But very quickly now, let me talk to the National Secretary of IPMAN, Umar Babakano. The last time you were here on this program with me, you talked about the gridlock or stoppage on the road, on the highway, particularly citing the issue of Lokoja in Kogi State. What is the latest now? Why are we still here?
Yeah, the thing is that before now it was the gridlock, as you said, there was no road at all. Because maybe there was a particular point in time that we couldn't ply that road for over 2 to 3 weeks. After as you said, after the floods have subsided, you know how roads can be with water. It was already a bad road, but when flood came, it like compounded the whole situation. Most of these roads now are maybe like one-way traffic, so to say. You have to stop it from that side. Then in 48 hours, you can bring a truck down to Abuja. But now, the earliest time you bring truck down to Abuja will take you nothing less than 5 to 7 days. So, and already before now, there was a vacuum. There was a vacuum that came as a result of the gridlock. That vacuum hasn't been filled, and up till now, it doesn't have the direct
how
flow.
long will it take for the vacuum to be filled? Because we're talking of more than a month now after the flooding we had across the country, and now we see here.
Yeah, with a perfect free flow, at least maybe a week or two, that can be done. But up to now, as I told you, the roads are still not that motorable as it should be. The thing is that all of these roads, even the Lokoja, the Bida, the Reply, all of them had that flood issues. As I told you now, there is no way you can ply that road in less than a week. The earliest time we ply within Lagos, Abuja is 5 days with a truck. Normally we do it in 20, so there are some drivers that can even do it in 24 hours, but some normally averagely 48 hours, and now it's taking us nothing less than a week.
All right, Babakano, taking that it takes that a long period of time for trucks coming from the depots to get to Abuja, stating this state of the road. What about Lagos? We're also having something like this in Lagos. Fuel scarcity is still in Lagos, and Lagos is where we have the depot.
Yeah, there are depots in Lagos, but you know, sometimes things like that, whenever you are there, there are normal, what do you call it? There are normal, allocations for each state. Normally, there is an allocation that is for Lagos State, there's a allocation for Abuja and environs. So most of these trucks, some, like those that are supposed to carry for Abuja while they are in the depot, sometimes you have some gridlock around. But now, as I can tell you, authoritatively, there is not that much queue in Lagos.
All right. Yeah. Now, Chidiojo, this is looking like the more you look, the less you see, talking about this fuel scarcity. Apart from these movements on the roads, on the highway, coming from Lagos, getting to these and the damages on the road, do you think Nigeria is really, or Nigerian government is working to fix this sector? Like we expected that after the transition of NNPC to a public liability or limited company, we were going to see some drastic change, but that seems to be a long distance call.
Did you, if I tell you the truth, I hope you will believe me. People have given up on this administration. In fact, people are counting down to the exit of this government. That's why they are not protesting. People are saying, oh, it's a matter of days. We will see the end of this. Because it's now our new normal. The abnormality is now our new normal. That we will have a government in place and we will be having fuel queues and lots of productive hours.
Yeah.
The more reason I don't go to queue is because my time is important to me. Imagine if I had to go and queue to be able to come here. When will it be my turn? And I had to buy 10 liters of PMS at cutthroat price this afternoon. That's why I was able to drive down. There have been occasions you people invited me and I told you I cannot come because I don't have fuel in my car. Now, you, Babakano is saying something. Should we not be ashamed? The Minister of Information and Culture came out, was it last year or 2 years ago, that they spent, is it over 10 billion naira repairing vandalized pipelines every year. If the products were channeled through the pipelines from Lagos, should all these articulated vehicles be going to Lagos to source for fuel for FCT? When you make Lagos by commercial bus From Lagos to Abuja, if you leave very early, like 6 a.m., you are only going to get to Abuja about 5 p.m. The later you leave, the later you get to Abuja.
Sure.
So if you are traveling from Lagos to Abuja by road, you know the whole day is dedicated to road travel. Now, those articulated vehicles that at the best of time, when the road is smooth, they cannot even make it in one day. Now the roads have gone bad. The ab initio, these products are not supposed to be lifted through trucks.
Yeah.
It was meant to be channeled through the pipelines, then to depots, Mosimi, Suleja, Bini, or you go and fetch from there, and that shortens the time you will need to take the product from those depots
to the outlets.
So now you have to go send empty truck that will be on diesel. Diesel is deregulated. Ask him how much they were paying for transportation of one truck before the escalation of the price of diesel and what they are paying now. It's only PMS that is subsidized. So now this have a ripple effect on virtually every aspect of the economy.
I agree with you, Gideojo. Let's quickly take a break. We need to hear from people on the street too, particularly in Abuja here, where the fuel scarcity is biting hard. Let's feel their pulse.
Let's say 70% of filling stations in FCT don't have fuel. That's why there's much queue. Why we have shortage of supply in the filling station, because they sell it to the black marketers.
3 hours now, I cannot even buy 4, but I want to buy at least 8,000. You understand? But even 2,000, there's no way you can get it. So the situation is bad.
Initially they say it was because of the local road that was blocked, but the road is clear now. So expectedly, I thought by now there will be fuel all over the place, but I'm still surprised that there's still scarcity.
People are much, they're dispensing, they're selling. So when they finish the consignment, they let inside. You see, they open again, the cars will enter, the cars will flow in.
Somebody was telling me they said at 179, but before I know it, they used to say 174. So it's until I get to the place. But we don't even care how much we buy, just for us to see it.
This is too much queue. I make I come this place. When I come this place, soon I want to buy the fuel.
All right, this is still Nigeria Today on NTA News 24, and I have two gentlemen with me in the studio, Gideojo and Umar Babakano, talking about the fuel scarcity in Abuja and other parts of the country. Now, we are talking of scarcity. That is one. Now, in Abuja, the latest is the unofficial hike in the prices of petrol. You see varied prices across filling stations now. It's now to the mercy of the marketers, the outlets, the retail sellers of petrol. Why do we have these latest developments in the prices?
From my knowledge, within the metropolis, within Abuja, no filling station is staying above 180 within inside Abuja. But after, if you go out to Suleja and environs, some sell more than 200, more than 200. So that one I doesn't know about, but from the information I have, they sell more than 200.
Are we supposed to have up to 180? When the band is 175?
It was 175, but yesterday it was officially increased to 5 naira. That's for Zone A, that's Abuja and Lagos. Zone B, maybe Kano, Enugu, that's this second catchment area. That's roughly between 100 to 500 kilometers from the loading depots, that's the riverine areas. it was
Right, sorry to
185.
cut in because we have very limited time on the program now. We were told several times by the government that the pump price was not going to get beyond 165, but unofficially it went up to 175, and nobody spoke to that, and Nigerians were happy at least to buy it with the availability. But now 180, 200. What's led to this new increase?
I'm sorry to say that, and I'm not.
You're not
officially.
no,
I'm not officially maybe authorized to say that. Expect to buy it more than even the 180 because the PIA has been passed. So there will be a deregulation in time. In short, even this one I see it as the partial deregulation of that particular product, as you said. Now, what do you call it? On the plats, PMS, the landing cost of PMS will be nothing less than 250 to 300 naira. Nothing less than 300 naira. In short, even now, if at all it is
landing cost.
Exactly. So if at all it is deregulated today, it might be around 300 plus. So expect to see the pricing more than what we are buying today. As you can see, AGO is 850 in Abuja. In Lagos, we buy it at the depots at around 450. Then we include our transport of about 50 naira, that's 800 naira. Then some logistics, maybe your generator, operational expenses generally. So that's why it's now at 850. As Mr. Ojo is saying, initially is even making it maybe look at 750. It's 850 in most of these stations.
All right, that sounded like a very bitter pill or truth to listen to from Babakano, the National Secretary of IPMAN. Now, the government promised that the PIB then was going to bring a lot of changes to this sector, and Nigerians were expecting a lot of changes indeed to make it better, knowing fully well that this is the crux of the economy of this country, oil and gas. Now, we have PIA in place. Is this benefits of the new act we have in place for the deregulation?
In truth, in truth, given what my brother here said, if the landing cost is about 300 naira, you don't expect the retail outlets to sell it.
Of course, they are businessmen and women,
which is the bridging fund that government is using the trillions to bridge. And they actually do not allow full deregulation because of politics of 2023. They know that if they fully implemented the PIA, the price of PMS today will be about 350, 400 naira. And that will make them to lose the next election. So they decided to look for money wherever they can get it to continue to subsidize.
Till mid-next year.
Till mid-next year, which is passing it to incoming administration. And that's why I keep telling people, whoever wins the next presidency will not have a time for honeymoon. Because it will have to take very hard decisions. The bottom line, still, to me, forget about this haphazard implementation of PIA. The truth is that the only saving grace as of today is Dangote coming on stream. If it comes on stream, the issue of landing cost, the issue of what you spend to bring it from Romania or Europe or America will no longer be there because it will be from Lagos, but we will still have the issue of trucking because the pipelines remain vandalized. But assuming without considering that we are able to revive all the 4 refineries,
all right,
and Dangote is on stream,
okay,
then definitely we will have, at least even if the price will go up, it won't be as when we are importing the refined petroleum.
All right, you've made that point, and now we need to go on the program. But let me remind you about this Dangote refinery. We should not be too hopeful about it because I remember that the Minister of State Petroleum, Timi Presiva, said at the time that Dangote coming on stream would not have significant effect on the prices of petroleum in Nigeria. Now, Babakano, in just 30 seconds, do you think if we have Dangote refinery running and probably some other refineries refurbished or worked upon to come on stream. Do you think that will have
Yeah,
effect on
Dangote
this?
coming on stream with help, but you need more refiners, not only Dangote, because generally if you are put in a market, if a market is monopolized, then anything can be happening anytime. You know, if I'm the only person having it, I can just wake up in the morning and tell you this is what I want, even though at least there are some, guidelines. But still, if it is only one person that is having it, it's not enough at all.
All right, thank you very much. Not enough, but let's remind you that Nigeria remains one of the 6 largest producers and exporters of oil across the world, and we'll see where we are. And that's the program today. Nigeria Today on NTA News 24. A very big thank you to Jide Ojo, a very good friend in the House, a public affairs analyst, and of course the National Secretary, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, man, Umar Babakano, for making it on the show.
Thank you very much. Nice.
I will see you again with another topical issue on Nigeria Today tomorrow. Meet us again.